Welcome to my Moira Beauty marathon. Moira Beauty keeps putting out new releases and I can't help myself but keep buying them. They're an affordable brand. They have some pretty decent new launches, plus like a lot of their stuff really works for me. So not only did I pick up everything of their new releases, of course they did launch more new releases after I placed my order and everything arrived. So I think they have like the cream shadow sticks that are coming out, and they also have the potted cream shadows, which look really cool. So you're in for basically a full face of Moira Beauty. It was so affordable for everything that's in this basket, like plus this is broken, so I don't have it sitting on top. It was like $130, and there is a ton of stuff in here, you guys. So buckle in, we're putting it all on. Let's get started. I'm literally sitting here like looking over all of the stuff that I picked up, and I got more lipsticks than I can put on my lips. I must have just liked the way these looked. So there's a ton of stuff here, but I wanted to go over the stuff with you guys that is new in case you were wondering. So the Magic Dreaming Moira series palette, the eyeshadow palette, was a new launch. They also had the liquid contour, the face sculpt, so that's new. These two are new, but one of them is a little bit older. I had this one sitting here. This is one of their glitter liners. Glitter liner, okay, whatever. In Pinky Promise. Yeah, I've had this sitting here. I totally forgot that I had it. But this one's newer. They came out with like a bunch of new pigments. This one, Superhyped liquid pigment. This is one of the sparkle ones. It's an extra sparkle. So this is a new release. The Complete Wear powder foundation, a little bit less newer than the other stuff, but it's also still new. And then also around the same time as the powder foundation came out, they had the CC Prep concealer. It's almost like a corrector. Like I can definitely see the pink shade in there. This is more like a corrector, so I did also pick up the Lavish creamy concealer, but they had this in their line already. I also have these, which are fairly new, but I've had them. These are their statement gel liners. I picked up 5. I actually accidentally got 2 in the red, but yeah, I only got 4 different colors. I have really been enjoying these. I've been grabbing for these colored liners like mad lately. They're my favorite colored liners at the current moment. I think everything else isn't new. I mean, I got a full face, even down to lashes. These look crazy, but super, super affordable. So the first product that I wanna go into is the Illuminating Glow Primer, formulated with micropearls, light reflecting minerals. I will include the cost of everything in the description box so you guys can see. But yeah, the full face was like $130. I do think I got a discount, but still, there is a lot of stuff here, including an eyeshadow palette that is still like under $150. Like even if I were to go to CVS or the drugstore, I still couldn't get this much makeup for that amount of money. I don't know why I picked this one up over like something mattifying, because I've been reaching for more mattifying like primers and foundations lately. And I guess this just kind of looked the most exciting to me, especially like on the swatches. Doesn't that look really, really pretty? Oh my goodness. Hello, e.l.f. Halo Glow. Oh my gosh. This is a super pleasant like skincare scent, but it's sticky. It's so sticky, you guys. It's like I'm talking to you. It actually seems to be sinking into the skin though, not like just sitting on top of it. I mean, at least so far. By the way, I want to mention that I think most of their stuff is like designed in the USA. A lot of the stuff is actually made in Taiwan, but all of their makeup is cruelty free. So in case you were curious about that, I do want to mention that we're gonna end up doing 2 foundation wears. I'm gonna use this straight up like a foundation, and like one half is gonna be a powder foundation. I'm not usually into a powder foundation, but because this was a new release, I thought maybe you guys would like to see that if you were at all interested in that. I usually use these it's like setting powders. Okay, so primer was really nice. It is tacky, tacky, but it doesn't have like a huge amount of luminosity, like not as much as like when I swatched it on my hand. I can really see it on my hand, not so much on my face, but so far that's pretty cool. I think I want to go into brows next. So I got one of their precision brow pencils. It says a 1.5 millimeter diameter ultra slim pencil. Here it is. This is in the shade Taupe. I'm already like, meh, you know, swatching this. It's so hard and so dry. It's like taking a lot for me to warm it up. I don't know. It's not really creamy. Here's me stabbing myself with a pencil. Just not really creamy. I think I want to shape the brows first, and we'll go into the eyeshadow palette in case there's really any fallout. The shade is really cool though. Like this is a good shade for me, very cool toned. I feel like I might even pull in like some of my other Moira Beauty products that I have in my collection already. Is this waterproof? Because that would be delightful. It is. Ultra slim, waterproof, long lasting, free of parabens. It was definitely easy to apply. It's still on the drier side though, which usually means that, you know, it's a non-budge or it's less budgy, but it's drier than the Benefit Precisely My Brow. It kind of hurts a little. Not a bad pencil. It's definitely on the drier side, but the shade though is awesome. Okay, moving on into the eyeshadow. We'll start with the eyeshadow primer. I actually have been noticing that like some of my favorite eyeshadow primers, like they don't get along with every single shadow that I've been trying lately. This is like a little tiny guy. This does seem to have like a little bit of coverage. Hello, is there anything gonna come off in this doe foot applicator? This doe foot applicator is like, it's not picking up anything. Is mine like missing a thing? No, it's not. It can't be. It's literally just not picking up very much. Okay, very good. It's just a little bit tinted, but doesn't offer any coverage. I'm gonna open this to set the eyes with. Set and Correct Finishing Powder. This is formulated with jojoba, sunflower, and grapeseed oil. This is supposed to be like one of those color correctors. It says an ultra fine and weightless formula with 4 complementary shades that will correct uneven skin tone, brighten, and add radiance to your complexion. Those all sound great for me, especially like right here, this part of my face. I deal with like hyperpigmentation by my eyes. I always get super red on my nose. So like a finishing or setting powder that helps correct uneven skin tone. Actually nice. I thought about getting this powder like a while ago, especially when Jen Phelps was talking about it. Oh, and I also forgot to mention, all of their stuff is vegan. I know I said cruelty free, but they're also vegan. Here's the inside of it. I'm tempted to swatch it, but it's definitely not something that I would probably like pick up like one individual pan at a time. I would probably just like put my puff in and grab like whatever. But I think that's really what it's designed to do, is that, you know, you go for whatever shade that you're looking to like correct. Like this would be brightening, right? This is like dark circles. This is redness. I don't know what blue is. It's so smooth. It's a very, very soft powder. When you go in and swirl it, no real shade. I don't think you see much. It's just like a white powder. Okay, let's go into this eyeshadow palette. So I have tried the Moira Beauty eyeshadow formula before. I think the last one that I got was one of their ones from the Love Letter series. This one appears to be the Moira Land series palette. It's Admit One, so it's supposed to look like, you know, a box office ticket. Here's what the inside of it looks like. So here's the palette. It's always just really cute packaging. Even the detail goes into like the mirror where it's like Admit One, keep this coupon. I mean, you could peel this off, I think, but you know, why would you want to? And then even down to the protective plastic on top, there's also like Admit One. There's like movie tickets in there. Guys, look at this color story. I was like, why did you wear a blue shirt, Carrie? It's not gonna really go with like, you know, whatever look you create. I forgot what color story palette I got. You guys, this is delectable. Their shimmers are really, really good. Their mattes haven't always been my favorite, but their shimmers are such good quality. There are some really cool pastel colors in here, like these right here. But also, guess what? They threw in some neutral shades too, like down here. So you could even pull this in for like everyday wear. I don't know if I want to swatch this whole palette simply because we have so much, but let's definitely try and like swatch these shimmers. We'll just do live swatches of the shimmers. Whew, that was smooth and soft. Look at that. It's like a gunmetal, like a titanium shade. See what I mean about their shimmers? I'm gonna re-swatch this one because it wasn't enough for me. I'm gonna do all the shimmers just because I love swatching shimmers. They're my favorite. Oh my gosh, you guys, that is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, you guys. This shade looks delightful. Hello. You know what? I've been so into these orangey greeny shifts lately. I'm like drawn to them. I don't think this one's a full shimmer. This one's like a satin. Oh, dang, look at that pigment. And the final one is Dreamland, which is like a purple. Ooh, that's really pretty too. They're pretty dark. I swatched like a lot of dark shades. Let's go into this one called Fireworks. Like, is this like deep purple? It's a matte, but it's like the only matte. See what I mean? For whatever reason, some of their mattes don't hold up as great as like their shimmers do. I don't know, that was fun for me. Well, it didn't swatch well, but it won't come off of my finger. We're gonna do 2 looks because I wanna go into the Superhyped liquid pigment because this is a new release and I think you guys would like enjoy seeing this if you're interested in this launch. And it's not gonna work for the eye look that I originally had in my mind because I wanted to do something more blue. I'm gonna go into this one all over. I'm gonna do this one as a transition. I'm gonna deepen with this one out here and I'm gonna pull this shimmer in. I'm probably just gonna speed through the process since we have so much other makeup to try. And if I just get to talking while I'm applying this, it'll just be like forever and ever. So I'll zoom you guys in, I'll apply this and then we'll come back. Okay, so it was really easy to get on, like really fast. But the problem was this deep shade in Fireworks just kept over blending. So I kept adding more and more to it. It just wasn't holding its pigment. And the more I was like trying to, you know, really blend it in so it kind of looked, you know, like more phased, it was just kind of like over blending. And I didn't like that about it. So that's kind of what I found with Moira Beauty shadows in the past, is that I do get a bit of over blending. Not that the look was bad, for just some reason, I really prefer their shimmer formula over their matte formula. And I guess that's not like terrible, but they're also not the best shimmers that I've ever tried ever. So, you know, I want the mattes to also be really good. Anyway, let's go into a more like pinky, I think purple look. I'm actually gonna use this Best Ever as a transition, this in the crease, this in the outer corner, and then that liquid pigment all over. And I'm gonna use this one, not because it's like a brownie shade, but because honestly, this looks like a shade that would pull pretty like mauve or just super neutral on me and my fair skin. Like I pretty much can tell you that's gonna come out looking a little bit pink. So let's speed through this one. Well, that was super easy. These pastel ones are on the much lighter side. Like you don't get a huge amount of pigmentation from those. This one is actually nice and pigmented. Like it didn't take really any building at all. I can tell you that these are like extremely powdery mattes though. So if you're not into like a really powdery formula, like even when I tapped off my brush and even when I was like doing one of those shades, there was like literally powder just flying off. Let's go into this liquid pigment. I did not, clean off my swatches yet, so I'll just kind of show you on my finger. Look how light reflecting and gorgeous it looks. I have used Moira Beauty liquid shadows already. Like I do have a couple in my collection and I really like the formula. It's probably one of my favorites because it doesn't like transfer too much. It never stings my eyes. Like if you guys have sensitive eyes and have ever used liquid shadows that like burn you, I think you know what I'm talking about. I think the dry time on them is just my favorite. They're just like this really in-between kind of like tacky formula, but also like really smooth. I don't know, something about them just makes them extremely easy to work with. So I have to say, I think the Moira Beauty liquid shadows are probably my favorite liquid shadows. I've been actually trying quite a bit lately, a bunch of them from NYX. and they're not my favorite, not over the Moira Beauty ones. So you guys, I ended up playing with a ton of these shades, like the majority of the colorful mattes, and even this one down here in the neutrals. The only ones that I really didn't play with in terms of mattes, this one, that one, and then this blue one over here. So I'll continue to play with some of the neutral shades, but I have to say, like, the powderiness about the shadows, they're just not my favorite. And the darker shades tend to overblend a little bit. And this one's skipped, like across the eyeshadow primer just a little bit. So I feel like it's a little bit patchy. I'm trying to blend it in now. I have to say though, these liquid pigments are bomb. They're just as good as their other ones. Let me go grab it. The one that I have was the Dazzling Daze liquid eyeshadow. This is also super gorgeous and beautiful. The formula is really the same. Like, it's just the dry time on it. This one has like an undertone, like a peachy mauvey kind of, I don't know, brownish undertone, but just a lot of really cool sparkles. And the formula is the same as this. So they did a tremendous job with both of these formulations. So if you guys are into liquid shadows or like liquid shimmers, these are awesome. They're currently my favorite. Okay, so let's go into the CC Prep Concealer. This is for canceling dark spots and dark circles. This one is in the shade 200 Light. I'm only gonna use this like right around, I think, the under eyes, especially right here where I get hyperpigmentation. Like, I never really had that before. I don't know, welcome to getting old, I guess. Ooh, it's a very creamy, liquidy formula. I kind of want to keep it away from where I'm going to apply the concealer, because honestly, when I layer them up, sometimes they, I don't know, they get too heavy. I'm just going to use my clean damp sponge. Yeah, it's a pretty canceling like color corrector. This would probably be really good under the eyes. A little bit of this product really goes a long way. Let's just try and conceal this dark circle, shall we? Because I mean, why the heck not? That's what it's meant for. It's fairly canceling on my dark circle. I mean, probably not completely, but I haven't found one that is. So now that the corrector is on, let's go into our foundation. So the first one that I want to go into is the Complete Wear Foundation. This one is supposed to be weightless, full coverage, ultra long wear. This one is in the shade 250 Natural Buff. And we'll do this one on the right side. It's a glass bottle with your pump on it. I'm totally imagining this to be like a really whipped consistency. Actually, it's not as whipped as I thought. It has a little bit of run to it. I kind of figured this would be like thicker than I think it feels. No, it's a little thick. I'm gonna start with that because I have no freaking idea how far it's gonna go. So let's just bounce in with this side of the sponge. See how far it travels. I don't think that was like immediately full coverage. Not like right away. I don't think it's bad. I don't really think it's full coverage right away, but it's not like heavy looking on my skin, so that looks good. I don't know how it's gonna look against this. Where the heck did it go? My powder foundation, but we're still gonna try it. So let's go into the Complete Wear Powder Foundation on the left side. This one is in the shade 125N. This is a bigger compact than I was kind of expecting. So it comes with its own little poofy. I think we'll actually try it. It has like a protective cover. This is, whoo, this is powdery and soft. It has so much pigment and it's everywhere all over. It's like a super powdery formula. I just like dug in there a teeny tiny bit to do a swatch. It like so much came off. I'm gonna use this puff, either that or my own puff. I'm just gonna put that much on and yeah, okay. Hey, that doesn't look half bad, does it? That's really smoothing. I am not obsessed with powder foundations as just foundations, but I have to say, this looks quite nice. Do you guys like the way that looks? I mean, I don't know what that's about, but okay. Listen, all right, you heard it here. Let's go into this Lavish Creamy Concealer. This one is in the shade 150 Oatmeal. Nothing super fancy about this. This reminds me of like the Bobbi Brown concealer. Okay, well, it went on top of powder really nicely. I like it. I mean, I think it's like a medium coverage concealer. I really liked the shade too. I just don't like the way these color correctors, like they're thick underneath this foundation and nothing seems to lay on top of them nicely. It just starts to like pill up. That's why I usually don't grab for color correctors. I just get burned. Yeah, so I think I like the concealer. I'm just not sold on the color correctors. Let's go back into this powder and let's set. I'm gonna use my puff and I'm gonna do pretty much just my under eyes and my nose where I would normally do it. And oh, it's pretty. It's just that this powder is pretty much white. Like, I don't get a whole lot of any other color. Maybe that's normal. It's pretty looking. My face kind of feels a little heavy. I feel like I've definitely overdone it in trying to test all these freaking products out. But I think that I'm getting a pretty good sense of like what I like. This even being like a weightless full coverage foundation, like I believe it's weightless claim. It was not heavy. I don't think it's necessarily full coverage. I think it might be buildable, but I don't think it's like right away full coverage. That's more my preference, but I can already tell you this is gonna be something that I love to set with as opposed to like wearing just as a straight powder foundation. But if you're into powder foundations, I thought it was a beautiful finish. And I can say, where the heck did it go? I don't know if I like this. I don't know, it was heavier. Even like over on this side, it just felt like a little bit too heavy. Okay, so I actually do wanna go into a liner next. This is the glitter liner, and I wanna go in the pink side because this is in the shade Pinky Promise. It's really, really pretty. I don't know how much this is actually gonna show up because, you know, these little wands are so fine and thin that not a lot comes off on them. I'm gonna do a pretty thick swatch for you so you guys can see that. I don't know how well that's translating, but there's itty bitty sparkles in it. I think a good amount came off. Yeah, it's pretty. Like, you can definitely see it, and the sparkles, they really come off on this wand. And I was afraid that they wouldn't, but they do. I mean, it's pretty, it's nice. Probably something you want to use on its own. These shadows that they formulate, the liquid shadows and the liquid shimmers and the liner, I don't know, they just are formulated really, really nicely. You know what? I'm like looking at this powder and it's like so freaking pale. Like, this powder, it just comes out like super white on me. I don't know if it's like that, like if you get like one of the colors, but when you mix them all together, it really, really looks super pale. All right, so because I'm so pale, let's go into the Face Sculpt Liquid Contour. This isn't their newest release, but this one definitely had me intrigued. This one is in the shade 100 Fair Light. Big chubby guy, big old doe foot applicator. Let's swatcheroonie. Nice shade. How do I want to do this? I'm just going to use my foundation sponge. I'm actually going to go in on both sides and see what the, I don't like dry time is on it. Blendability. Oh, this seems like a really nice, easy, workable formula. Look at that, you guys. Am I done? I'm basically done. Let's go over here. Okay, it kind of dries quickly. Just note to self. It's pretty, but yeah, it like dries a little bit quickly. I love this shade. Can I do my whole neck? Like, would y'all hate me? Did I remove my jowls? You guys, I'm like starting to get jowls right here. I'm like noticing like, oh hell no, don't do it yet. Gravity sucks sometimes. It's not like a patchy formula. Like, it has good pigmentation and opacity to it, but it does dry semi-quickly. I'm not gonna draw lines. I think I'm just gonna kind of dot it all across the forehead. I'm glad a company, when they say they're doing a contour, that they actually do a contour color and not a bronzer color. That's nice about it. I do like this, just dries quickly. Let's go into a blush. I picked up kind of an orangey shade because I decluttered my other Love Heat cream blush from Moira Beauty because it was in too pink of a shade, and I didn't care for that. It looked beautiful online, but when it got here, the color was just like this really hot pink, and that's just not a blush that I reach for all the time. So I ended up getting this one in I Respect You. Corally, burnty, orangey shade is kind of what I'm getting from this. Because this is a really emollient product, I'm taking kind of a fluffy brush and bouncing it into my hand, and then I'm gonna go in. I kind of wish, you know, I would have like a more neutral color for this set of eye looks, but that never works out for me when I'm testing new makeup. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. This is such a beautiful, beautiful blush. Has a tiny bit of radiance, nice and pigmented, lays on top of powder, really goes on top of anything. Do really enjoy this formula. Look at my face in the viewfinder. Can't help it, you guys. I always get the wrong blush for the eye looks that I pick, but I picked the eyeshadow palette because it was a new release, and then I picked this blush because this is a color I would normally reach for on an everyday basis, and I wanted to get more use out of it than I did the other one, so that it wasn't just like for the video, but also they have some pretty vibrant shades in this line of blushes. But I'm glad I picked up another one, even if it doesn't match this eye look. Okay, let's go into the Oil Control Makeup Setting Spray. This is something that I really need. A lightweight fine mist spray that sets makeup all day. It's mattifying and long lasting. This summer, oh my gosh, you guys, I've been trying to use mattifying setting sprays and really nothing is like working. Like nothing is like setting my makeup to the point where it's not coming off of my nose, like especially my nose where I'm getting so much more oily. This is very, very milky. And there's like, it's like sitting here kind of. No, thank you. No, it's not coming off. But yeah, it's just kind of a milky spray. Ooh, it's a light mist. Oh, yes. Oh, every spray should be made like this. Oh, they were so nice for doing that. Oh, that mist was delightful. It has a sweet smell to it. Alcohol-free, it has silica to help control oils. Oh, it's rose water, that's what it is. Maintain skin pH balance, okay. Okay, I wanna put on a highlighter. My highlighter came broken, but that's not gonna stop us from playing around. I have repressed this sucker. It made a humongous mess. I had to do serious damage control, but we are back in business, folks. This is the Sun Glow Face and Body Highlighter in the shade 01 or 001 Sweet Champagne. I loved this so much that I was like, are you kidding me when it came broken? Like, no. It has like these micro fine like glitters in it, but it is wet looking and super punchy, which is my kind of thing. Let's go in. Wow, it's got a lot of glitters, you guys. I like it because it looks almost yellowish. This doesn't blend in super easily. It's definitely like sitting on top of my skin. And like wherever I put it on with the brush, that's kind of where it ended up landing and not really moving. So it's not like the most even application, I have to say. Like it's pretty, but it's not super smooth. I do have a mascara. This is the Volume and Lifting Mascara. I do want to do one coat before we go into the lashes, and then I'm going to use this for the lower lashes. It's a really thick bad boy wand, but I am only going to do one coat, so I won't necessarily be able to tell too much, I don't think. It's not an overly, like, not a lot of product is coming off on this wand. Well, it's actually really nice. I'm only going to do that much because we are gonna put those lashes on. It's actually pretty nice. I bet you if I continue building this up, I would quite enjoy it. I don't dislike it already. We're ready for these lashes. I'm a little frightened that they're too much. 3D Effect Bionic Vegan Faux Mink Lashes, Golden Hour. Let's go. It's like a medium band. I am gonna let this mascara dry a little bit. So I'm probably like, after I cut these down, I wanna swatch all the lipsticks. And I don't think that I wanna lip swatch all of them. So at least we'll hand swatch them. So the first one that I have is the Balm Texture and Lip Shine. It's called their signature lipstick. I feel like this might have actually been on the newer side of their releases, but I could be wrong. This one's in Burgundy Noir. It's kind of cute. Oh my gosh, you guys. It is the creamiest, we're doing it. That is special, you guys. That's really nice. That is like a super pigmented, very creamy, comfortable balm. That literally feels like a high-end lipstick. I said I wasn't gonna do lip swatches, and here I am doing lip swatches. Okay, so this was their Defiant lipstick. It's classic, bold, and creamy. This is like kind of in what I would consider like their older packaging, I think. Like, I'm looking at the theme of these boxes, and like the older ones seem black, and then the newer ones seem like multicolored, like they put the shade here but the rest of the box is white. This one is in the shade 07 Rosalie, just a matte black bullet, but these are like aluminum. This isn't like a plastic. I'm gonna wear this one. What was I thinking? Wow, okay, Carrie. It's nice and creamy. Look how hot pink that is. Wouldn't that be the shade to wear with this look? The other one I have is in Melrose. Let's hope this is the shade that's gonna go with this eye look. Give me something neutral. Yeah, it's neutral, but it's also like damaged. I didn't do it. I haven't even, oh, it's totally broken. I hate broken makeup. All right, we're gonna use this one because it's the most neutral. This is a beautiful shade. This is not all the way down. Yeah, the bullet has come out of it. unfortunately. Oh well, I'm sure I can still like use it. It probably still has usability. These aren't like overly creamy though. They're almost like a satin. Okay, I think these lashes are dry, so I'm gonna go into these ones now. I don't know, you guys, these are huge. Yeah, these are not my favorite. I also picked up the eye-catching dip liner, which I'm totally gonna use this for the right eye. I don't care. So I'm gonna use this, and I hate these kind of like tips. Guys, this is such a thick liner. These lashes are ultra ridiculous. This dip liner is insane. It is so pigmented, it is so wet. It was getting all over like the lashes themselves. It's such a good like matte formula though. I could see using this without lashes and it would just be so beautiful. Like this dip liner is shocking me. It is this like creamy matte formula that's just highly pigmented. These lashes, they're like clown-like. Like legit, I'm gonna fly away. Okay, so even though I did like a maroon liner on the top, I'm gonna go into my royal blue statement gel liner on the bottom. I honestly don't think I've used this more than once, this blue one, but I've used some of these other colors like multiple times now. So I finished the left eye off camera. I threw my like pink one in the shade 14 Hot Pink into the waterline. I do not like this mascara for the lower lash line. I just don't like a big wand to use for the lower lash line. I have a really difficult time like getting close. So let's go into this lipstick now. I don't know if this is like anything to write home about in terms of formula. It is nice and soft. It's like a satin. Wow, it is crazy. I'm just looking at myself like, whoo, girl, are you about to go into a show? It's because I feel like I am. Mom, if you're watching, don't say anything. I'm gonna keep the outro really brief because I bet you this video is on the longer side. If you guys are still hanging on in there with me, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun playing with all the Moira Beauty makeup. I have been wanting to do this video for a while, but you know, I've been kind of like waiting until their new releases had dropped so that I could get more, so that I could incorporate them in today's video. Overall though, I got all of this stuff for literally $133 with my discount code. Like that's unheard of. You know, if you shop at like Sephora and Ulta, you could get like 4 things or even less and spend more money than that. So as far as like the price point goes, it's really good. In terms of the quality, it's a hit and miss on everything. I think it's that way for every brand. I think the things that I didn't really care for or that I have like a little bit of criticisms on, probably the eyeshadow palette. It's just not my favorite matte formula. I really like the shimmers. What I do think they do a really good job at, you guys, is their liquids. Like their liquid liners, their liquid shimmers, their liquid pigments, like those are all super top notch and totally worth the money. They're like $7.50 a piece, I think. Like they're pretty affordable. I have to say this foundation, the liquid foundation, was really nice. Very like skin-like, even though it said it was like full coverage. I don't think it was, but just the way that it's like sitting on my skin is really nice. I did like the liquid contour. I will tell you guys that I'm looking at it now and like the overall effect of it was really pretty. I am not sold on this mascara just because you don't get a lot of product that like comes off on this wand, and I prefer something a little bit more like wet of a formula. So anyway, that's my outro, you guys. I am done. If you are not a current subscriber, I would love for you guys to subscribe. I am out of here, you guys, and I'll catch you all in my next video. Bye.